Hey, the graphic designers. Today we're going to take a look at doing the layout for the stamp. I'm going to be doing this design here, the little crossover of the Stranger Things Ghostbusters design. When we come into Illustrator, we're going to take and make a new document. The biggest thing is that we're going to make sure that we're in RGB color mode. The laser engraver will only see RGB, so if we do it in CMYK, it's not going to work. For your width and height, the biggest you guys can go is 4x4. 4x4 is a pretty big stamp. I would suggest doing something more like a 2x2 or a 3x3. We can always print it out on paper to see how big it is, and then we can always adjust the size if we need to. If you guys want to do more than one design, you guys are more than welcome to do that as well, as long as all the designs fit inside a 4x4 box. So once we got the RGB mode set up, and I got my 2x2, which is what I'm looking for, I'm going to hit create. Here's my 2x2 box. I have already taken pen tooled out the design, so we can see it's larger than my 2x2 box right here. So I'm going to grab the corner, resize it, making sure that I hold shift so that this way it doesn't get stretched out in any kind of way. And we have that design on there now. Now, the way that this works is I want my stamp to look like this, but black is what is going to be laser engraved away. So the black area here would actually get cut away, and then all the white would be my stamp. So this is opposite of what I actually want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and with my magic wand, grab all the black stuff that I have. I'm going to make it a random color right now for the, oops, I did that for the stroke. We want it to be for the fill. And I'm going to take all the white and I'm going to make all my white black. And then I also want to cut out around the outside here as well. So I'm going to take a box. I'm going to make sure that I'm drawing behind and put a black square back behind there as well. Go back to drawing normal. I'm going to take my design and make sure that I set it for white. Now this is what we're looking for. The black area is going to get engraved away, so it's going to get etched away. The white area is going to be standing out in front of the stamp. So basically anything white in the end is what's going to be the stamping material. Once we have this part done, we're going to make sure that we name our layer engraving. That's the part that's going to get engraved. We're going to make a new layer right here. This layer we're going to name cut. And then what we're going to take and do is whether it's with a circle or with a square, doesn't really matter. Just depends on what kind of stamp you want. And I'm just going to use a square. We're going to come in here and make another box. We're going to set the fill for clear. And we're going to set our stroke for red. And when we set it for red, we want it to be 100% red and 0 with the green and the blue. Okay, the same is going to go with the black here. So with our black areas, we want it to be 100% black. So this is a mixture right now of red, green, and blue. So with that black part, we want to make sure that they're all set for 0 so we get that pure black, because that laser engraver just looks at color. I'm going to take my red. We're set for 100% red. And then this is a really thick line right now. We want to set our stroke for 0.003. So the color lets the laser engraver know that it's going to cut. So red is representing cutting. The black represents engraving. We want it at 0.003 where it's barely visible, so that this way the laser engraver will run right along that line and just cut out a single square. If we have this set higher, it's going to take and cut multiple boxes trying to cut this entire red area out. So again, 100% red, 0.003 for the thickness. Last thing we need to do is that when we stamp, the design is going to be reversed. So right now, if this looks good to us. If we were to stamp it, it's going to be a mirror image of what it is. So I need to take this layer here, and I need to do an object transform, and we're going to reflect it so that it's a mirror image. This way, when we do the stamping, it'll turn out normal the way that we want it.